I think the Mario Maker games are kind of like this wonderful opportunity to create this, retro styled platforming, and kind of amazing that Nintendo would allow people to make content with somewhat free reign. And the wild things that people get up to with the tools they've been handed, and the glitches that they uncover, and the weird behavior. Keep jumping up. Puzzle's a fan of my Ice Climber stage. Yeah, so that was kind of... I had never played any of Mario Maker 1, but I'd seen a lot of like the cool professional players and creators, like Carl Sagan 42. That's probably the one I've watched the most. So when Mario Maker 3 came out, no, Mario Maker 2, there's no 3 yet. And I had the ability to create my own levels, and seeing that now that multiplayer was an option, tried to make a bunch of different multiplayer levels. So I think that was the first one I made, was the Ice Climber. Get the key. So along with... Whoops! I accidentally double created the block and destroyed it. Along with the addition of multiplayer gameplay, the ability to make vertical levels was new for Mario Maker 2, I think. So decided to combine those two aspects, and it just kind of made sense that you have a two-player level or multiplayer level, classic NES game, vertical scrolling, that Ice Climbers would fit the bill. And then, sorry, didn't jump through the ghosts correctly. And I kind of branched out and tried to make other versus levels that were kind of making use of the, come on, making use of the unique mechanics available. So another one that I made that was versus level was inspired by Balloon Fight. So there's one mode in Mario Maker 2 where you can make it so that the level kind of controls like the balloon trip mode in Balloon Fight. And it's scrolling right to left, just like Balloon Trip. But the other challenge of that is like trying to playtest multiplayer levels is kind of impossible, because you can't really do that solo while creating the level. I hit my head on the ceiling. That's okay, I was running out of lives. See if I can at least get back to room 45 again. Yeah, I'm sure there are like ways, like especially with like the creator community where you could like the smart thing would be to make a level and kind of work in a like easy way to the exit to make sure it's completable, and then like test a bunch of mechanics with someone helping out. That way you don't actually have to accomplish anything in the level, you can just test out segments. And also, like trying to balance game mechanics is still going to be a challenge. There's one level I created where I tried to make it so that you can set clear conditions. So you need to do a certain number of things in order to activate the exit. So I put a bunch of coins in the level near dangerous obstacles. The idea is you need to collect enough coins to activate the exit. And I put way more coins than would be needed, just so that people could kind of choose what would be the best exit for them. And the other cool mechanic is that, like, once one player activates the exit, if they're playing like a versus mode, then the other players can like basically steal the win condition from the other player. They like bounce on his head or something. That was my hope, that people would still be able to finish the level, but I didn't actually playtest it very well, I don't think. And I'd say that one was a idea that probably could have used a little bit more time in the oven, but it was, at minimum, it was functional. I think mainly just getting rid of that gem there helps to reduce the visual noise of the stage. One less sprite to look at. Jump ghosts. Jump in a little off time. Okay, next time the ghosts pass me, I need to go. Jump, jump, jump. Okay, we made it. Wait for a better ghost time to pass. Get one fairy. Okay, clear the left flame first. Clear this block, and this block, and this block. Get the white potion. Just now realizing there's actually two different kinds of white potion. That's the full one. Are half jars as well. Set up that block so the flame can fall onto it. Flame is safely housed. They didn't really need that block, maybe. Oh, carefully get rid of that. Remove both blocks. Plenty of time left. Can I get another super fireball? That will help out. Okay, that treasure is the same. Wasn't there another red gem somewhere? It must have been lower on the level. I don't want to risk running out of time. I think I have a semi-figured out strategy here. But still with room for improvement. Those enemies gonna run at me, or they're just gonna keep on... There we go. Got way too many sprites on the screen. Fairies are running away. Come on. Can make it down here. Thank you. Ooh, that was not me generating a block. Like, can I jump into vertical space and make it over those? I'm not sure. Certainly not there. be a little more challenging now without a super fireball. It's a glorious crouching animation. If I was smarter, I would have gotten rid of that block just below this one. Hoping to make it through that gap. I wasn't quite fast enough. This will at least get me one extra life. That's somewhat reproducible. Assuming I get here with full lives. Get rid of this first. There's kind of like a pattern to the thinners. Honestly, it would be a little better if I could get them to move faster. Be easier to jump over them, I think. I'm having trouble making it to the safe spots. Okay, they were getting crowded there. Made it up here. Might be running low on time. I can just get this one to spawn. Got me close there. Alright, gonna try building on the right this time. See how far down the dragons spawn. They only last till about that platform there. But getting these out of the way without getting roasted by a dragon is going to be tricky. Alright, that one's out of the way. How am I supposed to get up without those dragons destroying the blocks that I would be hemming them in with? So if I make like 2 blocks across where that middle dragon is now, then it would be forced up to the white platform and it wouldn't be able to destroy anything. But part of that depends on getting them to cooperate. I don't like the looks of being down there. I can at least make it up there. This feels incredibly dangerous. That's not gonna... I need to get one more block over. Let's forget that for the moment and go up this way. There's no way I can get the key from up here. Oh, that also is not good. So even though I can get up there on the right side, like how am I supposed to create a pathway through? Like if I trap those dragons up there, what does that do for me? I feel like my first strategy of going up through the left side makes a little more sense, but trying to manage all those dragons falling on top of me is proven challenging. Like that was really bad. Shouldn't have been so aggressive with trying to build up on the left there. There's probably more gradual building strategy that would work better. There's enemies to fall through. Yeah, did the arcade version have passwords? I doubt it. I think the password there is just keep feeding in tokens so you get more credits. There were some like really, like I think Kadash. I don't know if that had passwords, but it was like essentially like a role-playing game for arcades. And there, I want to say there were like versions of Gauntlet or something that had passwords you could put in. Might be confusing that with some other games. Yeah, Gauntlet, Dark Legacy, Dungeons and Dragons Brawlers. Get the key first. It's not quite the ghost pattern, but close enough. They're a little farther apart now. Need to wait till about 6100. Getting a little close with the ghost jumps here. That was my time to go. Generous hitboxes. Alright, try to panic build when the ghosts are coming right at me. Probably not the best time to go there, but that's alright. Alright, take the left route to get rid of the flame. Ooh, don't go down there yet. Alright. Almost the second time I've gone down there and fallen right on the flame. White potion quickly. That escape route. Almost forgot to put that block there. I want this block. Generate that block. Okay, make this jump. Destroy both of these blocks. It is satisfying that you can at least now get through this level pretty regularly when it seemed almost impossible before. Hidden room. So that's coins now. You can get a regular fireball out of that. I don't know if that's helpful or not. Yeah, I'm getting into the groove on that level. Yeah, so this is different because that was a potion before. Maybe the items are always in the same spot, but there is some randomization. Okay, don't dare waste any more time there. So 2 fireballs aren't really going to help me that much, but I don't think they're going to be too helpful. Those are out of the way. Get rid of this block first. Just about ran into that enemy. And get through that part pretty easily. Probably would be smarter for me to just send one of these dudes that way than try to race the clock. Okay. Let's take another good long hard look at this stage. So depending on how the dragons fall, they're going to make for some difficult building. I wonder if I use the far left side, I should be able to build bit by bit a giant tower that would go up in between when the dragons fall. So I'd be building from the far left column and then like the third column series of blocks. I could just jump back and forth between them and I would be out of danger of them falling on my head or destroying my blocks. It's kind of like every odd column that's still gonna be true for the rest of the level, probably. Odd columns are where I can build. Even columns is where monsters are going to fall down. I have 2 panic fireballs in case I need them. See how much I can build here. Not like that. Something like this. Would be helpful if it wasn't like right underneath where they're going to be falling on me. Now I've quickly cleared that out. But then what am I going to be doing up here? I could make the platform above me longer by 2 blocks. And then the dragons would get stuck there, but they're still like constantly spawning from that corner. It's like, how do I... There's like no real way to wall off those dragons other than building up into where that little nook is. That one enemy. Of course, there's an enemy in there. Could at least get the other enemy above me off. So that's out of the way. Then what does this do for me? How am I supposed to build safely with double dragons facing me down? I'm sure there's going to be a lull at some point where the dragons are going to, like the other level, where there might be like a slight gap. Maybe around the same timestamp, 6300 or so, but what am I going to do? These? No. Uh, so if I were to make it onto one of those platforms, what am I supposed to quickly build? I can make... No, because that enemy's going to punch out that block. That's the other challenge. Well, boxing dudes. I don't think I want to be here. But I can sort of like safely build there. That doesn't help me in any way. That didn't help me. That actually made things worse. Yeah, I feel like I need to do something like that, but I don't know how that's supposed to help me. Need to jump up that stairway, make a block down left. No, that's not going to work either because the dragon that's going to fall is going to immediately blast that block that I'm standing on. And there's no amount of block making that will save me from them constantly advancing. At least I don't think so. That gets them to waste their time a little bit, but that's not helping me get through there at all. What if I made like a holding pen over here? That doesn't really do anything helpful. Meanwhile, time's running out. I need them to keep falling to the left. That can only do that when I'm standing here. I've got 2 fireballs, but I don't know if that's going to help me out. Alright, I made it up here. Oh, crap. Forgot about the fire blast. Gotta very carefully place the bricks. Alright, those guys are out of commission again. How am I supposed to convert this into... Maybe I can build a safe pathway on the right? Not like that. And just walk off the ledge there. That was probably not the smartest thing to do. Nothing I can do to build out here because those dragons are just going to keep destroying the pathway that I make. Does that help me in any way? Not really, I don't think. I could keep dropping the dragons. No, that's not going to work because they're just going to keep destroying the platform that I'm standing on. Got a serious chicken and egg problem going on here. If I build on the left, I can get up there. Are any of these enemies going to have something useful for me? Other than fairies? Those don't have anything. What does that do for me? Probably nothing useful. That enemy had nothing. Get all the way up here. He is tantalizingly out of reach. Any amazing things hitting around this area? Oh, there was something above the doorway. Didn't give me a free exit though. I'm kind of painting myself into a corner there. Can't believe I'm not dead yet. Brings me back here, then what am I supposed to do? Like, so many enemies, and I don't see how I'm supposed to build anything up that way. Yeah. What am I supposed to do there?